And alam mo, meron akong nakakakilabit ang nakita kong real minsan. Sabi nung pastor pag nakita kita, 5 years from now, wala pa ka pang kotse, sasagasaan kita sa daan. Have you seen that video? So according to this view, God blesses Christians, and the proof of God's blessing is what? Wealth. And this widely held view is clearly denounced in this passage. To hold it is to adopt the very view that Paul says the false teachers were advocating. Ano po yung ina-advocate ng false teachers na dapat ituaman ni Pablo? That godliness is a means of financial gain. They used their religious profession as a means to make money. What they did was not a true ministry for the Lord. It was a religious business, which is still rampant today, where religious racketeers preyed on gullible people, promising them help while taking away their money. In our passage today, Paul tackles on the false teachers who see religion as a means to financial profit and contrasts them with the true spiritual profit found in godliness that leads to contentment. Paul reminds believers of the fleeting nature of material wealth. Pinapaalala ni Pablo dito na ang mga yaman sa mundo ay lilipas din yan. He encourages satisfaction with essentials of food and clothing rather than striving for excess. He warns against desire for riches. He warns against desire for riches that leads people into temptation, harmful desires, and spiritual ruin, and made it clear that the love of money is the root of all kinds of evil. If you are going letter. So as we proceed with this study, let's ask ourselves and contemplate upon these questions. How do you define contentment? Ano ba ang sayo ang pagiging kontento? Masasabi ba ito ay kontento? Alam mo, may narinig ng minsan yung pa Sabi niya, ako kontento lang ako sa buhay. Pag gusto kong mag-almusal sa Hong Kong, makakalipat ako with my private jet. Diba? Ganun daw ang contentment sa kanya. But why is it difficult for a lot of people to be content? And it is easy for many Christians to say that they are content. Ang dali mong sabihin na maraming mga Kristiyano na sila ay content sa buhay. My question, next slide na kapatid. Are you one of them? Isa ka ba sa mga nag-iisip ka? Because you're a Christian, you say you are contented life? Isa ka ba sa kanila? If so, how does material loss affect your happiness? O ikaw nga, isang Kristiyano, sinasabi mo, kung may Kristo ka, contento ka na sa buhay, paano kung nakahanap yung kotse mo? Paano kung nasuluhan ka ng bahay? How would you respond to that kind of loss that you encounter? On the other hand, how happy do you get from having some material thing? Gaano ka ka-excited magkaroon ng bagong kotse, mapalitan yung luma, di ba? So para magkaroon ng kontento sa buhay, maging kontento ka sa buhay, dapat unahin mo dun sa pinanggagalingan, dun sa pagiging makadiyos. And godliness comes through our relationship with our Lord Jesus Christ. He is the true treasure of contentment. Did you get that? Kung naunawaan po ninyo yun, mga kapatid, we can now close in prayer. Yes. So we must pursue godliness because it is the essential route to find contentment. But a lot of people are looking for contentment through the things that they have and they have not. Dami mga tao mayayaman, hindi alam kung anong gawin sa pera nila. Sasabihin pa, kung meron akong bibigyan ng pera ko, sabi niya, pinakahuli ang simbahan. Walang simbahan sa listahan. Very sad. Ayaw nung gaman. Pwede magpagawa ng mansyon sa isang araw, pwede niya kagad kawagan naman. But, you see, because they do not find contentment, the real source of contentment. The true treasure of contentment is Jesus Christ. So mga kapatid, how do we find contentment? Contentment comes from pursuing and prioritizing godliness, not material gain, and having eternal perspective in mind, not the temporal. Kaya parating yung marinig sa pulpitong ito, dapat yung mindset natin dun sa parating na pangako ng Panginoon. So how do we know if we are content? Our shopping habits, our response to material loss and material gain, these things will tell if we are really content. Some people think that contentment is getting everything they want as soon as they want it. We all know that that is not true. Bakit po? Because we have lived long enough to know that those who live that way are not content at all. So contentment is not having all you want, but wanting only what you have. Being satisfied with what you have, that is being content, having all you need and wanting only that much, not craving for more. Since we brought nothing into the world, we cannot take anything out of it. So we should live with open hands, holding loosely to possessions and clinging tightly to eternal values. O, di ba mga kapatid? What do you have when you were born? Wala. Nothing. You have come into the world a little naked baby, crying with clenched hands. Di ba? Ganun ang mga bata. Pagkasi lang nakasakmal na gamit. Did you notice that? Ano, doktora? You have a pediatric. Di ba? And we should leave the world again with nothing. Sabi nga sa Ecclesiastes 5:10, sabi niya, whoever loves money never has enough. Whoever loves wealth is never satisfied with their income. Makita natin dito, sinasabi ni Solomon, that this satisfaction is almost always associated with the love of money. The more you have, the more you want, and the less content you become. Habang dumarami, ikaw pa, dagdagan pa, parang walang katapos ang pag-pursue. Kaya ano sabi ni Solomon dito, he highlights that the pursuit of wealth can lead to a cycle of endless wanting, endless anxiety, or even endless war, both materially and spiritually. Kaya sabi niya sa bawat diskurso niya, everything is meaningless. Everything is vanity, chasing after the wind. So true fulfillment, according to this book, is found not in accumulating possessions, but in wisdom, enjoying God's gifts, recognizing the passing nature of earthly things. Sabi nga ni Job, di ba? Job 1:21, he said, naked I came from my mother's womb, and naked shall I return. The Lord gave, the Lord has taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Ano nangyari dito? Lahat ng kayamanan ni Job nawala. Lahat ng anak niya namatay. Sino natira? Yung kanyang asawa. Sabi niya ikaw talaga, baliw ka. Bakit hindi mo na sumpay ng Diyos at ikaw ay mamatay na rin? Sabi na gano'n. Yung palang purpose ng asawa, kaya naiwan na. Para patunayan na si Job talaga ay matapat sa Panginoon. Yan. Ecclesiastes 5:13-15. Sabi, there is a grievous evil that I have seen under the sun. Riches were kept by their owner to his heart, and those riches were lost in a bad venture. And he is a father of a son, but he has nothing in his hand. And in verse 15 he said, as he came from his mother's womb, he shall go again, naked as he came, and shall take nothing from his toil that he may carry away in his hand.